time. Like, time zone is hard, so not everybody joins in live time. A lot of you catch the recording, which is absolutely okay. I love that you're listening regardless of whether it's when you're sitting here with me or whether it's when you're in the shower. So for those of you who are catching me later, thanks for catching that recording. Tonight, what I wanted to talk with you about are two things. I'm going to split the call into two topic areas. The first is I want to talk to you a little bit about the plans that I have for July from a marketing standpoint so that I can share it with you. You're welcome to piggyback or do something similar. And then the second half of the call, I'll be talking about events and why they matter for your business. So those are my two big topics. I just want to say thank you to Vanessa and Michelle for coming to Summit with me. They tagged along last week and we had an incredible time. And I just cannot wait to have more of you there with us next year. A couple years prior, we had I want to say there was about 15 of us there. And it was really fun to finally get to see each other, not just on a Zoom call, but in real life. So I'm excited to squeeze you all next year in Indianapolis. And I hope that you are going to start to think about buying your tickets. So what I have right here is my calendar that I keep in my office. I also have a planner that I keep, but this goes up on my wall. And then I also do a Google Calendar. I'm kind of crazy with my calendars and the fact that I like to put it in 3 places. But for some reason, I need to visually plan it all out, and this is how I do it. And so I also have, I should share this with you. In addition, in my office, I have a really big whiteboard. And on that really big whiteboard, I track where my coaches are from a Success Club standpoint. So if once my coaches get a Success Club point, they get put up on my whiteboard and I start to pay attention to where they are. So as you guys are starting to build a team, I would encourage a whiteboard so that you can just kind of strategize everything. It's also where I track down any new customers for the month. I write their name up there, as well as coaches. And that board actually shows all the coaches I've recruited for the year. So I can see how many I've brought in each month. And I like to kind of see like, where was I lacking? Where did I have momentum? And that's actually really helpful then, because I can go back and look at my content during those months and say, all right, this is where that went well, do that again. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to talk to you about my calendar and my marketing plan for this month and kind of explain why I'm going the route that I am. Excuse me. So every Sunday on here, I have our team call. So Sunday nights at 8 o'clock. What I'm going to do is tonight's call topic was on events and why you should be there. Next Sunday, the topic is creating fans, not followers, on your social media platform. On the 15th, I'm going to talk about the power of your transformation with Lift 4. And then on the 22nd, we're going to do a power hour as a team. It won't necessarily be Instagram focused. It'll just be focused on action. So I'll say, okay, for the next 7 minutes, we're going to do X, Y, Z or whatever. So we'll really push you to help you finish the month out strong. So I like that it's on the 22nd. I haven't made a plan for the 29th yet, but those are call topics that you can look forward to. On November, I'm rushing this. On July 9th, I'm going to open up our next Coach Basics training. So if you have brought in any new coaches right now and they're getting ready to start, they're welcome to join us in that group that will start on the 9th. The reason why I wanted to share this week with you is because I intentionally, you can't really see it, but it's the week of the 8th through the 14th. I loaded that week from a business standpoint. I'm going to be very busy. That Monday, I'm going to do Coach Basics, but I'm also starting for our team. So all of you, you'll see I'm going to make an event in our team page, but it's going to be a first-in-class customer service training. So every day I will have a short video, like 5 minutes or less, and I'm going to be sharing with you things that I'm doing to help differentiate between a basic coach versus a coach who's going the extra mile for your customers. So you guys can take some of these tips and use them, apply them, change them up, but that's going to be coming up that week for our whole team. So you'll see that as an event. Just make sure you RSVP that you're going. In addition, I'm going to be doing a free group that week. I go back and forth. I actually haven't run a free group in several months because I haven't needed to. However, I'm kind of trying to work around something this month. So let me explain. I have a condition called Hashimoto's disease. It's an autoimmune condition. It's a thyroid condition. Super common. It's really common. And so what I have found is that a lot of my followers have Hashimoto's disease. So I'm actually going to do the free group, and I'm going to talk about how I get through how I've lost weight with Hashimoto's, healthy tips for dealing with the disease, whatever. I'm definitely going to put out my disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. When I advertise that, I don't want anybody saying, she gave me medical advice. This is going to be their choice to take that advice. But I have had the disease for a long time, and I have done a lot of research to figure out ways to feel better. So I'll be sharing that from the 10th through the 13th. Here's my rationale as to why. Typically, people with Hashimoto's disease struggle with weight loss, and they struggle with their nutrition. So I'm actually hoping to recruit them for a 2B mindset group. That would be my intentions with that free group. So when you create a free group, if you create one, again, not necessarily something you have to do all the time, but if you're just getting your feet wet with the business, it's great to do them. People often need to see that you have something to offer before they want to join you, right? They want value before they give you, their order. So I think the more opportunities you have to share with people, look, I know what I'm talking about, and I want to give you something, then the more, people want to join you. I will caution you. When you run a free group, don't run a 30-day free group. Don't run, even 2 weeks is too long. Free is free. When you get something for free, you don't expect too much, right? At least I don't. So you want to look at 3 days, 5 days maximum. You don't want to wrap up an entire month of a free group, because then they'll say to you, why would I join your regular group when I can just be in your free group? So just think about that as you plan. So that's something that I'm going to be doing the 10th through the 13th. Now, on the 16th, we're going to have our Lift 4 launch date. So my challenge group, I'm doing a team-wide challenge. So anyone from the team who is not already a part, please let me know. But we're going to run that starting on the 16th, and I'm doing preseason that week. I know that some of you will want to get started and start working out that day. That's okay, but I want to have maximum time for us to recruit to Lift 4. So my recruiting, this week, I'm still recruiting to the coaching opportunity, the first week of July for the 9th. Then I'll do a little stint where I recruit to the free group, and then I'll transition into Lift 4. Once I get them in Lift 4, my recruiting will change, and I'm going to try to start marketing to those people from the Hashimoto's free group, and I'm going to run a 2B mindset group on the 23rd. That'll probably be the last just 2B mindset group that I run for a little bit, because I've done 3 so far. So that group, if anyone needs to put someone in a 2B mindset group, my group will start on Monday the 23rd. Anyone is welcome. Now, as far as what the rest of my month would look like then, that's whenever I really, I would ideally like to have all of my Success Club points in. My coach always taught me 5 by the 5th and 10 by the 10th. So by the 10th, I would like to be at Success Club 10. That way I can kind of just run with recruiting to the coaching opportunity. So Kathy asked a great question. She said, do you create separate Facebook groups for your free groups? So for this one, I will, because I haven't run one in a very long time. I will say that it's actually better to keep them all in one place, and then just change your banner, change the theme. People start to appreciate that, and then you don't have to constantly be re-adding them. So I would leave it alone unless it's something where you're just getting started with it. But that was a great question. So for me, like I said, once I hit Success Club, boom, I will flip my switch and I will market the coaching opportunity, because I know that retailing, meaning selling challenge packs, is great. It'll bring you fast commissions, but true income in this business is built off building a team. And so I need to find the people out there who want to run with the business like I do. So that's why I will focus really hard on recruiting what I like to call rock star coaches. So I talk about the opportunity often from different angles, and that'll be what I do the whole second half of the month. So that's a little bit about my marketing calendar. I hope you guys have done one. If you haven't done one, definitely spend some time here in the next day or so brainstorming. If you're new to making a marketing plan, talk to your own coach. Ask them, like, what do you think about this? I will tell you that typically I always run my challenge group the third Monday of every month, especially when I'm only running one, because that gives me all month to market the challenge group, and my preseason is that third Monday. So technically, I have all month to market my challenge group. So that's what I always did in the beginning. The longer I've built the business, the more I feel able to run more than one challenge group. So that is why you're going to see me running. Technically, I'll be running 3 because I have one that's ongoing, and then I have the 2 new ones. Now, as far as the purpose of events, the reason why I wanted to talk about this tonight on the call was because we have a big event coming up this weekend, and that's the Super Saturday event. So if you have never been, I just want to give you a quick rundown as to what it is. Usually it's a few hours, typically like 3 to 4. And depending where you go, you may or may not get to do a live workout. Some places they will send a celebrity trainer. So for example, I'm close to Pittsburgh and they're sending Autumn Calabrese. So Autumn will be in Pittsburgh. You get a chance to work out with her. It's really exciting. But typically when you get there, and this is pretty standard for most Super Saturdays, when you get there, they'll do a little bit of recognition. So they'll ask you to stand up if you're an Emerald coach, a Diamond coach, a Star Diamond coach. So they'll do that. Then they will often do a coach success story. So you'll hear from a coach who's had success in the business, and they'll share what their journey has looked like. Then they will typically share a transformation story. It's usually one that you need a tissue for. So expect to really be moved, but it's great because it reminds you that our work is powerful and that you're helping to change somebody's life. So you will have that first, typically. Some of the locations, they'll do like a Shakeology bar. Sometimes they'll have the performance line. It really just depends on the market council in your area and how active they are. The market council is the group of coaches who help to run this for corporate. Sometimes they'll send corporate representation as well. For those of you who want to get involved, most market councils are always looking for coaches to step up. It's a great way for you to step up into a leadership role, and there's some behind the scenes perks that you get for being a part of it. So just something to think about. But anyways, what you'll do then is you'll have probably a little bit of a break, and then you'll listen to the corporate video. So the corporate video is typically about a half an hour long, and it's a recap for what's going to happen during the next quarter. So you guys will get to see, remember how at Summit we heard about the Pumpkin Spice Shakeology, all the new programs. You'll get a little bit more detail regarding that. So look forward to that. Take a notebook. And then, like I said, every market council is different, but you may also have a training afterwards. I know that in Pittsburgh, they like to do a lot of like social media trainings or business trainings. So just, prepare for it. Your agenda will probably show you what they have planned. And then sometimes the workout is before, sometimes it's after, sometimes there isn't one, but usually in Pittsburgh, it's after. So anyways, that's what you can expect. Here's what I want you to know. I want you to know that going for the first time is scary, right? It's scary to go to a place where you probably don't know anyone and you're probably second guessing yourself. I remember second guessing myself, like, this is crazy. What am I thinking? But here's the deal. This is a group of people who actually get what you do. They actually understand your mission and they love it as much as you do. And they're super friendly. Like I promise you, just say hello to somebody, ask them about their transformation or their journey, and you will have made a quick friend. They'll probably want to add you on social media, but this is a community that people don't understand until they're on the inside. And I want you guys to have the opportunity to feel the community in person, not just behind the screens, not just behind the Zoom calls. If you have never went to one and you're scared, ask your coach to go with you if you're local. Ask your clients to come with you. If you have any challengers, they are certainly welcome. You do not have to be a coach to go to Super Saturday. And I actually find it to be a great recruiting opportunity to bring them to a live event because they feel our energy and they're like, I want to be a part of this. So if you have a client or a family member or somebody who you really want to bring on as a coach, I would encourage you to get them a ticket and say, please come with me. When you go, let's see, what else do I want to say? Whenever you go, be sure that you're talking about it. Talk about the fears that you might be having for going. Talk about your takeaways when you leave from there, but just share unapologetically what it's like to go to an event like this. I mean, it's fun to meet these people in person because, you know, we're on the computers all the time, we're behind screens, but when you go, you feel this incredible emotion about the business. So please make sure that you share that piece and that light and excitement of it. Now, I will say this too. If you have someone in your life who isn't necessarily supportive of the business yet, this is something you really want them at, because they're going to see it's very legit. Because some of you have maybe a spouse or a family member who's like, I think you're crazy for doing this and I don't understand it. But when they can sit in the audience and they can hear where corporate is taking the company in the next few months, you know, where they've been, where they're going, and see the people, I think they start to say like, oh, this is definitely a real business. Like, because for some of you, I think that they think you're just playing on your phone. Like, let's be honest, that was a problem when I started. My husband's like, what are you even doing? And so I had to really show him what I was doing and what my work was. So I think it's great if you can take them. I also think that you need to start to plan for long term. You need to plan for, how are you going to make it work so you can be at Summit? How are you going to make it work so you can be at the Success Club trip? If you're watching this video tonight and you're not already on the wait list for the Success Club trip, which this year is a cruise, I want you to, after this call, I want you to get online and I want you to search for the 2019 Success Club trip, and I want you to put yourself on the wait list. It costs you $0 to be put on the wait list, and you will not have to make any decisions as of right now if you're going or not. Your wait list will be long, and you probably, because it's right now, it's July, you will not probably be taken off the wait list until right towards the end, if you get taken off. But I will tell you that every time I was on the wait list, I always got taken off and I always got to go. There was one situation where I found out like 7 days before, but I made it work. But I want you to sign up and I want you to commit to this, because this is a big piece of the business. Going to live events is a game changer. I will tell you that the momentum that I see after I go on a trip, whether it's Summit, whether it's Success Club, whether it's a leadership event, I see momentum a good 3 months. It carries me a good 3 months every time I go to one, meaning that it's very easy to recruit for those few months because they see the fun. But I also like to share that, you know, I'm talking more specifically Summit and the Success Club trip. This is the highlight reel, right? This is the fun part of the business. And I make sure that they understand that, yes, I am going on this paid, all-exclusive, paid vacation with my spouse to all these crazy islands with all these incredibly motivating women, but I earned this. I worked hard. And so I just want you guys to think about that too as you market it, or those of you who went and you're like, you're home now, make sure that you're recruiting the right people. Because you want the people who are going to show up for you and do the trainings and really be present and be willing to be here. My coach always said, be here in a year. That was her motto when I started. She's like, just be here in a year. And I'm like, hold on, girl. But I'm here 4.5 years later and I'm not going anywhere. I love it. And so I want you to attract those people, because it's really hard when you put your heart into training people for your team, but then they don't stay. So I want you attracting those people who are going to hold your hand and run and say, let's do this. I love this business. I'm trying to think, what else should I want to say to you guys? I just think that you should understand that if this is your first Summit or your first Super Saturday or your first Success Club trip, please know that feeling nervous, feeling like you don't want to go is really normal, right? It's actually common. Most people there, if it's their first time, they felt that same anxiety over it. But I just want you to break through that fear of it, because I don't want you to miss out on this. I want you to go because you're going to come home and be like, I love the business, and you're going to be so excited. So I want that for you. I want you to experience that joy and excitement about everything. So that's all I really have tonight. I would love if after you watch this call, I would love it if you could share with me where you're going for your Super Saturday event. If you want to send me the link to your Eventbrite so I can check it out and maybe see who you have as your speaker, or what your market council has planned. I love seeing it. And I think that everybody's market council does a really unique but also really great job. So if you're going, let me know. If you're listening and you're thinking, I don't know how to find a Super Saturday event, or I don't know what she's talking about, please reach out. I'll share with you how to find one in your location. They're typically always near all of your locations. And if they're not, you can actually host your own as well. So corporate would send you the video. You can stream it from home so that you at least still watch it. So that's also an option. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks so much for getting on, and I will see you guys next week. Make sure you join us creating fans, not followers. Bye.